The mystical story of the ghost of Sundel Bolong. Sundel Bolong is an interesting, strange, and scary ghost in Indonesian folklore. It has a distinctive feature, namely a hole in its back. This story begins with a mystical story on the island of Java in Indonesia. Long ago, in colonial times, there lived a beautiful girl, poor and no longer had any relatives. Struggling to make ends meet in the midst of tense social unrest, faced with despair, poverty, and daily necessities, hearing whispers from several people in his neighborhood, he followed until he was dragged into a dark world, a place where shadows whispered promises of easy money and short-lived pleasure. In the heart of the city during the colonial era, she was a popular highlight, sought after, loved and adored by those especially philandering men who could afford her services. Because of her beauty, so many scrambled to get her a moment's pleasure. Her beauty masks deep sadness, and her laughter echoes in the narrow alleys where secrets reside. It didn't take long for his life to change drastically from being poor and lacking to becoming rich. He has everything he needs in life and is not as deprived as he used to be. However, the more people who like it, the more people hate it because they can't get it. The beginning of the story of the Sundel Bolong ghost occurs. A tragic change occurs in the life of this beautiful girl, which without realizing it, several masher men who are jealous and cannot get her have evil intentions. On the beautiful girl's journey home at night, a tragic incident occurred. She, a beautiful girl, had been persecuted and tragically killed by several philandering men who were jealous and had evil intentions. News spread in society that the beautiful girl who was popular with many philandering men had died tragically. Many regretted his death and many were happy, especially the mothers or wives of the philandering man. Due to the unnatural or untimely death of a beautiful girl, the beautiful girl's spirit returns and haunts her with a deep grudge. Her scary shape is the result of a cruel murder and has a hole in her back, so people call it the Sundel Bolong ghost. The ghost of Sundel Bolong, with a gaping hole appearing in the middle of his back, a spectral wound symbolizing the violence of his death. Wearing a flowing white dress that hides her terrible secret, she returns as the ghost of Sundel Bolong, a ghostly figure who haunts the streets where she once roamed for revenge. The ghost of Sundel Bolong, with its ethereal beauty and tragic history, has become a cautionary tale whispered among the people, especially in Java, Indonesia. People who stray from the path of righteousness, commit immoral acts or infidelity, risk being affected by a spirit of revenge. The ghost of Sundel Bolong will appear as a temptress who seduces especially philandering men, misleading those who surrender to the allure of her charm and beauty. Encountering the ghost of Sundel Bolong can cause misfortune or even death. The Sundel Bolong ghost is often depicted as a seductress who lures men with her enchanting beauty before revealing a terrifying hole in her back. Despite its scary nature, the legend of the ghost of Sundel Bolong is deeply embedded in the culture of the Javanese island of Indonesia. This mystical story is passed down from generation to generation, from colonial to millennial times through oral tradition. It functions as a cautionary tale about morality and the consequences of one's actions. The ghost story of Sundel Bolong has endured for centuries. The story of the transformation of a charmingly beautiful girl into Sundel Bolong, as a tale of beauty, tragedy, and terrifying supernatural retribution. The story has also inspired various literary adaptations, films, and forms of popular culture in Indonesia. That's like a mystical story about the ghost of Sundel Bolong. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like, and comment for us to develop and create more interesting content. Thank you.